Packers running back Josh Jacobs on NFL Network's The Insiders said he's expecting great things from Jordan Love. He has all the traits and all the tools to be a superstar in this league as he keeps continuing to play and gets experience and becomes more confident in his abilities for what he can do. He's going to be the next superstar in this league for sure. Brew, are you buying Jordan Love superstar?
Well, the only thing I didn't like about what Josh said, and I like most of it, was the wording at the end. The next superstar. There's a lot of guys in line for that. Now, I like one of the next superstars, but C.J. Stroud is actually, I think, ahead of Jordan in terms of that next superstar. All right? Justin Herbert, some already think he's arrived, but with Jim Harbaugh now, your boy Caleb Williams, kind of my boy too. And yeah, I'm going to say it. Brock Purdy.
There it is.
I'm just saying, Brock Purdy is inching up
there. How many superstars just off the
No, all I'm saying is these are guys that are kind of in line and vying for
like
that.
as if there were a club.
If there was a club
superstars, they would be in line.
But he said it like the next. Like there's only one, and he's like almost like he's going to be the next Mahomes. No, he's one of that group that has a shot to be the next superstar. But I don't think, Nick, you can overstate how good he was over those last 8 games. The 18 touchdowns, the 1 pick, he beat Kansas City. He beat Detroit. Chicago, which had played well at the end of the season. He beat them. And I like what obviously they were young last year, so you just expect guys to get better. Josh Jacobs replacing Aaron Jones, so you got A.J. Dillon still. The receivers, he's got great chemistry with. They're good and talented. And I think their defense will improve. Some of the additions, Xavier McKinney, that was a problem in their defensive backfield. They got him. So the team is going to they're a legit Super Bowl contender to me. I might even pick them.
Wow.
Mike.
You're going to pick the Niners.
I'm not picking the Packers. Can I say something?
I might. You don't think I might pick the Packers?
I'm willing to make a pick right now on July 4th about your pick.
Yeah.
You are not picking the Packers.
Put your money where your mouth is.
You don't bet.
Maybe in this instance, how much money you going to give me?
You're not going to pick the Packers to make the Super Bowl.
You're going to pick the Niners, but it's fine because you're a Brock Purdy guy.
You don't like Brock Purdy?
I do like him. I'm just saying that doesn't mean I'm going to pick him.
No, I just had a graphic. I just extended it out. I know you said last 8 games. This was last 12 games that he had. You forgot he had wins against the Rams, the Chiefs. You mentioned the Cowboys. We're counting the playoffs and the Lions.
So we can show either Wild's graphic or my graphic. Either one, pop them up. There it is. So here is my. I think this is great. I think that it was, and we can now kind of transition to mine, a tale of 2 seasons.
That's Wild's.
That's Wild's, and this is mine.
I was going to ask why you went 12 games, because it was the 8 that he.
Yeah, but it was the last 8, and then he did it by month, I think more. If you do the last 8, but then add the playoffs, okay, well it's gone now. But what you saw there is he was the first half of the year. Yeah. The discussion was, oh man, did the Packers make a mistake?
Figured it out.
Right, and correct. And I'm not knocking him at all. And I thought he played brilliantly against the Cowboys. Like it wasn't, and I understand that game is more known as like a Cowboys meltdown. But if you remember some of those like at the line of scrimmage checks he made, some of the passes he was brilliant in his first career playoff game as a huge underdog. It is a tiny sample from a guy that doesn't have a built-in large sample of high-level college, the blue chip prospect type of thing. What are you smirking about?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just being serious. Like CJ is a small sample, but CJ was a superstar at Ohio State.
Yes.
To me, so it is. It would be as if, I'll use Trey Lance as an example, in that if Trey Lance had played a full season and was mediocre for the first half, excellent for the second half, I think you would be more skeptical than if Caleb has the same thing this year.
Sure.
Because Trey played at one double or Division II, whatever it's called now. And so I don't think all the young quarterbacks who have shown flashes are going to all be excellent.
I agree.
I know you don't and that's totally fair. You're trying to be a smartass, but I'm going to give you credit.
Talking about the Prince.
That he's talking about the Prince. That's fine. I think Caleb's going to look excellent. CJ we saw look excellent. You mentioned I forget who else
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert's to be older than those guys, but Brock Purdy. Hey, you know, I think
you wait a little. Right. I've even been a little patient because
I think that right now I am, and it's not like a fun thing to talk about really because it seems so negative. I am curious which of these young guys that have shown superstar flashes is going to have the massive regression year. Like,
it's not super fun.
It's not a fun topic, but inevitably one of them, not all of them aren't going to be awesome. And so somebody is going to have the really bad stub your toe year. And I'm curious, like, I'm not saying I'm picking it's going to be Jordan.
Didn't we see it last year?
Right, but I'm talking about for this year's. Last year it would have been Trevor because he got hurt. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm talking about of the guys that we haven't seen struggle. We haven't seen Brock struggle. We haven't seen CJ struggle. We haven't seen Jordan struggle, you know, in those last. Right. Yeah. I don't think all three are going to be excellent next year.
This is such a funny thing to me because he says with such confidence that these quarterbacks are all not going to be great or that they all can't be great. And it's like, why not? They all come from great circumstances right now on great teams. And he wants to discredit some of the stats and be like, oh, it's the tale of two seasons for Jordan Love, but then doesn't offer that same analysis for Trevor Lawrence, which is why they keep kind of subtly calling him out for that, and rightfully so. But to keep it more focused on Jordan Love right now, I think Jordan Love can and will absolutely be a superstar because some of these situations, this is what I think a lot of these guys are failing to realize. A lot of these quarterbacks who kind of have like one-hit wonder seasons or, you know, just a couple good seasons and that's that, and they kind of like fall back down to earth or stub their toes, so to speak. There's a few reasons why that happens. One, they go to a team that was never really that good to begin with. They have aging weapons who then leave. They lose players in free agency, retirement, whatever it may be. They don't have a great offensive head coach, and so maybe a lot of their success was kind of predicated more on like an offensive coordinator, and now once that OC leaves, or QB coach, whatever it may be, leaves, and now there's kind of more of that regression. And, you know, and those are kind of some of those circumstances that then it's hard to kind of recapture what they had. But it's very rare that we see a quarterback have an awesome year with a good to great team, with a great offensive head coach, or even a coordinator for that matter who now stays there, and then have them regress backwards or unable to recapture that. And again, a perfect example of this is kind of like to highlight kind of what happened with the Jalen Hurts, just the last 2 years where he had this great year and then there was a regression to a degree. And you can point directly to the fact that there were some injury concerns as well as offensive and defensive coordinating concerns that really then hurt. And then this realization and understanding, well, how good of a head coach is actually Nick Sirianni in the first place? Like, what does he actually do? There seems to be confusion about that. And so when you now look at a Jordan Love, he doesn't suffer from any of that. His team is only getting better. They're young, they're not even in their prime yet, those weapons, really. Right? So they're all growing together. They're all going to enter their prime together. They have a young, great offensive head coach, but not so young where he doesn't know what he's doing. Young enough where he definitely knows what's going on in the NFL, but mature enough and experienced enough to already made a lot of his mistakes in the past and is filled with wisdom that he can continue to grow and hone in on Jordan Love and put Jordan Love consistently in a position to succeed. So there's no reason to expect that Jordan Love is just going to be a falling star. If Jordan Love didn't have those luxuries of also being a great player, but now also having a great team with a great coach around him, you could make the argument that there could be some regression. We've seen it with even great players, great quarterbacks. Whether it be a Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, trying to think of any Justin Herbert, right? Like that's what we saw with some of those quarterbacks, more recent quarterbacks. It's what you could predict with the CJ Stroud if his OC left, because you would be like, well, that was a big deal. Their OC is great, and now he left. What's going to happen? Is it going to be a similar Jalen Hurts situation? But fortunately for CJ Stroud, at least he doesn't have to deal with that just yet. But it very well could be in his future. So, but that is not what Jordan Love has. Jordan Love is in one of the best situations for a young quarterback. More than anything, that he's actually attached to a great offensive head coach. To me, I will stand on that hill day after day after day, because it just matters so much, because you have such continuity, sustainability, and stability. And that matters to me more than anything else for a young quarterback, more than weapons, more than who's your offensive line, who's your, weapons, because a good offensive head coach is going to be able to navigate that adversity. He's going to be able to help keep the confidence up with the quarterback. He's going to help say, hey, our offensive line is not good. Some of the things that you were able to do before we can't do. And let me explain to you why. This is what our game plan is going to be. And if you have the right humble quarterback, who I think Jordan Love is, we'll say, okay, let's do it this way then. I know I've been doing it this way for ever, since my entire life, but okay, I understand. And you have that relationship. It matters so much. It matters so much. So that's not what Jordan Love is going to have. Jordan Love is forging that relationship with Matt LaFleur. He has the weapons to go along with it. He has a growing defense to help with the complementary football. They're going to establish the run game to take some of the pressure off of Jordan Love. So no, I'm not seeing Jordan Love take a step back at all. I'm just not seeing it. I think the Packers are going to be legitimate threats. They are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And I think they're just going to grow and get better with every game that passes. And Jordan Love will prove to be a top quarterback in the NFL. This idea that you can only have a couple superstars makes no sense to me. I think the talent, I was talking to someone, Travis O'Shea, on here, and I just think it's one of those things that we are going to see more and more higher level quarterbacks in the NFL as time goes on. And Jordan Love, you will not be able to talk about the great quarterbacks in the NFL without mentioning Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Are you buying that Love will be a superstar? Or do you agree with Nick Wright that he's going to stub his toe or take a step back, and that all these other great young quarterbacks, that there's just not enough room for them all in the NFL? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.